An AI handed a home cook a recipe for garlic oil that was, step for step, the exact way you grow botulism. And it read completely reasonable. Raw garlic, submerged in oil, sealed in a jar, left on the counter for a week. That's not a recipe. That's a lab protocol for one of the deadliest toxins on Earth. The machine had no idea. It can't know. By the end of this, you'll have the 3 ways AI recipes fail, the 5 tells that give them away, and the 6 dishes you should never let a chatbot near. The good news, cooking safely from one is easy once you know where it lies. Let's get into it. So why does this happen? Here's the part nobody tells you. An AI doesn't know anything about food. It's a next word predictor. It has read millions of recipes, and when you ask for one, it just guesses what word probably comes next. There's no taste test, no cookbook editor, no food safety check anywhere in the loop. The only thing it's graded on is whether the text looks like a recipe, not whether the dish is edible. And that leads straight to failure number 1, quantity drift. A recipe is really just a system of ratios. Salt to flour, acid to fat, leavening to dry weight, and language models, they're famously bad at math. Shift one ratio by a factor of 2, and you've gone from dinner to disaster. And if a drifted salt ratio sounds bad, wait until you see what one of these bots did with a bottle of bleach. Want to see how far that goes? In 2023, a New Zealand supermarket let an AI build recipes from whatever you had lying around. Someone fed it water, ammonia, and bleach. It cheerfully returned a recipe and named it aromatic water mix. That's chlorine gas. Yes, really. It also pitched one involving human flesh. The bot now lives in an actual museum of failure. But here's the unsettling part. It wasn't a glitch. This is exactly what these models do. Wrong answers are built to look as close as possible to right ones. A confident, perfectly worded, completely wrong recipe isn't the exception, it's the default. Most of the time, though, it's quieter than chlorine gas. Last December, an experienced baker, someone who'd done this for years, found acorn cookies on a site called Desserts Pro by a creator named Anna Kelly. She spent 5 hours on them for a church event. They never worked, no matter how many times she reread the steps. Turns out, Anna Kelly doesn't exist. The site claimed to be from 2019, but was copyrighted in 2025. The photos had blueberries shaped like impossibly round purple craters. That's failure number 2. Not poison, just a beautiful recipe that cannot be cooked. So how do you spot one first? 5 tells. The prose is perfect, but emotionally flat. There's no failure story. No, I tested this 6 times. The photos look too clean to be real. The author has no footprint anywhere, and the ratios feel off. Any 3 together, check before you cook. Now the part I really need you to hear. Get a recipe wrong, and usually you've just wasted an evening. But there's a short list where wrong doesn't mean bland, it means a hospital bed. 6 of them. Canning anything low in acid. Fermenting past 2 days. Curing or smoking your own meat. Letting raw garlic or fresh herbs steep in oil. And anything that sits out overnight at room temperature. They all share one trait. Each one builds the airless, low-acid pocket that Clostridium botulinum loves to grow in. And the bot writes those steps with total confidence and zero clue what it just created. So for these 6, close the chatbot. Open the USDA Complete Guide to Home Canning, the National Center for Home Food Preservation, your local extension office, places where a real person actually ran the test. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is just an ad for some AI recipe app. It isn't, because the honest answer is that Guardrails can work, and most apps don't bother. One generator, DishGen, simply refuses when you hand it a toxic combination. It throws an error instead of a recipe. That's a design choice. And here's where I'll be straight with you. Recipe is an AI recipe app, and it runs on the same class of model as ChatGPT and Gemini. Same failure modes underneath. The difference is what's wrapped around it. Recipes run through a structured system that forces normalized units, ordered steps, and allergen flags instead of free-form guessing. Are those guardrails perfect? No. Anyone who says their AI can't be wrong hasn't tested it. But here's the real difference. Other apps just run on your phone. Recipe runs your kitchen. One hands you text, the other is built to actually cook. Okay, so how do you actually use these things without getting burned? 3 habits. First, read the ingredients before anything else. Skip the gorgeous photo, scan the amounts. Anything that looks doubled, way too much salt, baking soda standing in for baking powder, a raw egg that should have been cooked, flag it. Second, separate the cooking from the chemistry. A weeknight stir fry? Let the bot riff all it wants. But the second a recipe asks you to can, ferment, infuse in oil, or cure something, stop and open a real food safety page right beside it. Third habit, and honestly, it's the whole game in one line. When the chatbot and a tested human source disagree, the human wins. Full stop. Think of the AI as a sharp intern who's never once stood at a stove. Brilliant for ideas, never the last word on safety. So, back to that garlic oil. The reason it was dangerous is the reason all of this is dangerous. The AI wasn't lying. It just doesn't know the difference between a recipe and a hazard, because nothing in how it works can tell the two apart. 3 failure modes, 5 tells, 6 dishes to never hand it. And one rule above all, when in doubt, trust the human. Use the AI for the weeknight pasta. Use a tested source for anything you're sealing in a jar. Next time, I'm digging into a question that gets even sharper. Can you actually trust AI with food allergies? That one's personal for a lot of you. If this saved you one bad dinner or one hospital trip, you know what to do.
Subscribe. Long-form explainers, weekday afternoons.